Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It is that time again, folks. The 8th running of the NOSSCAR Daytona Beach 500 here on NASCAR Heat 5 is underway. 2023 season in the books, in session here, currently active. Round 1 underway. Donnie McBride Jr. in the number 88 Chevy Camaro winning stage 1, right now holding the lead here in stage 2. 24 cars, 80 laps, about 20 laps in the history books already. And we've got a great race underway here to kick off the 2023 NASCAR Platinum Cup Series season here on NASCAR Heat 5. I am NASCAR CEO and founder Tyler McMurder, along with former NASCAR Novice Cup Series champion Alex Hesdahl, driving that 17 Ford Mustang out there here today. Thank you to everyone who's joining us on YouTube. Kick back, relax, grab a cold can of soda, and enjoy the show. Gonna throw it down to Alex Hesdahl real quick. Actually, after the first stage, what are the thoughts and vibes and your feelings on this race so far? What has it been like out there so far in this event?
Well, it started off a little wild, and then it calmed down about halfway through the first stage, and as of now, it still looks like everyone's content running single file.
I'll be honest, you look pretty accurate with this statement here. There's about 10 cars have broken away from the rest of the field, and the reason why that they're in no danger of giving up that ground they've gained is simply because they are working together very nicely. Nobody stepping out of line, nobody battling for position at this time, and we've seen a pattern with this over the years for the super speedways. Nobody is willing to take that chance when it's early in the event like it is right now. And the second group of cars looks like this, being led by Dustin Franklin in the 3. We're riding on board with the number 14 of Beam SKP. He is the defending Daytona Beach 500 winner, won it last year in 2022. Brett Baker won it in 2021, was planning on being here for tonight, could not make it in time. Zach Dykstra winning in 2020, yours truly winning in 2019. Nathan Scott and Bradley Shores winning the Daytona Beach 500s in 2018, and yours truly winning the inaugural in 2017. We have a long, rich history here for this crown jewel event. Everybody wants this win. Good to see Harold Burden back in an NOSSCAR race after some sensitivity training and some self-assessment and development here. He is back on track with us and back eligible here in NOSSCAR competition, running third in the number 12 Ford Mustang for Brett Baker Racing. That is the same car that Brett Baker took to victory lane for the 2021 NOSSCAR Daytona Beach 500. A new ride for the Canadian Emily Sari. There you see her in the 62, working with a couple of her teammates, or one teammate actually, the driver of the 13, that is Timmy Brown. The 25, Blair Roussel, another Canadian driver. 3 Canadian drivers in tonight's event. All are still on the lead lap and have a shot to win this thing still. There's still a long way to go, and at this point, these drivers are using stage 1 and stage 2 to get the best track position they possibly can, set themselves up for the beginning of that final stage. Got to keep the draft with the lead pack. It's easier said than done, I realize. And how about Donnie McBride Jr.? He's never ran a full-time NASCAR Platinum Cup Series season. Now he's got the lead for the biggest race of the season, the season opener. What an amazing way to start the year it would be for him to park it in victory lane here at Daytona. Donnie McBride Jr., Aaron Garcia, first and second, with the 12 of Harold Burden right behind him in third. Landon Jenkins in the lime green, blue and black number 77 Chevy. Love the custom paint job on that car. Sean Lucas in the 22 runs in fifth. Jeffrey Robinson Jr. in the 18 car made the Final Four last year. He's running in sixth. Alex Hesdahl seventh. Josh Colin-Diaz shut the door there, and he's going to try to take that 7th position away. And he does put Alex back to 8th, and it's Tanner Swaley in the 48 car running in 9th. There's a lot of drivers in a different ride this year, and it's a little bit of an adjustment for me up here in the broadcast booth. I think I'm doing all right so far, but there's been some changes, folks. Some contracts signed, and drivers, some of them have even switched manufacturers. They've went a completely different direction here for the 2023 season. The second group of cars battling pretty hard here. Dustin Franklin was the leader of the group, and now he's going to get shuffled to the end of the line. Jesse Carlson in the same group. Aiden Cody in the 53 car is also in that group. He won the pole for this race. We have one car off the racetrack, it appears, and that is Connor Brown in the number 78. And now that I've went through the field just a little bit, I do believe he is the only one off the racetrack and done for the day. So we have 23 cars left on the track and rocking and rolling here with a shot to win the Daytona Beach 500. Back up front to the main group, still single file, nobody wanting to step off the bottom here so far. And you can't really blame them. They're not necessarily here to try to put on the greatest show for the fans. They're here to try to win this race. And if they think that running single file and playing it safe for, first 60, 50 laps of this event is going to get them closer to the victory, or at least keep them in striking distance, then that's exactly what they're going to do. I've been in this position before many times. And sure, you make a run to the outside once in a while when you think there's going to be some daylight, but at the same time, you don't really want to risk losing the draft with the lead group. We've already seen Rush Downing in the number 7 lose the draft with this lead group. He was a part of it just about 2 or 3 laps ago, and now he's no longer in your frame. As you can see, he is long gone. He's going to be joined by the second group of cars here pretty soon. And there you see it, actually, the red car, the number 7, just in front of this lead group. He's been caught by the second pack, and now he's going to get freight trained by them. They're going to have such a run when they get to him, and now they're going up to the outside. The best thing that Rush can do is just kind of tuck in line wherever he can, keep their draft at all costs. Beam SKP has worked his way forward about 6 spots in this group here since we last checked in. He's the only former Daytona Beach 500 winner in the field here tonight. There's Chris Vaudrin. He's lost the draft with the lead pack here. Timmy Brown and Emily Sari continuing to work together. No draft help for them anymore. Kenny Adair, former NASCAR Truck Series champion, out there with no draft right now and a little bit of right front damage. There's Aiden Cody in the 53, settling back in line. Won the pole for this race, lost the lead in stage 1. And a nice pass there by Alex Tesdall. Not letting the 12 car or the 48 car back in line. He's going to squeeze his 17 Ford Mustang up into 6th, and he's continuing to be the most active driver in the top 9 pack here. Every now and then taking a look to the outside and seeing if the run is going to pay off. Sometimes it does, and he draws alongside one of the cars in the top 5, but other times it just simply doesn't, and he tucks back in line down on the bottom immediately. They were 3 wide for a moment. Looked like Tanner Swaley was going to try to make a pass on the inside, but he got forced down below the yellow line, and therefore he lifted to get back up onto the racing surface. Alex Tesdall, a veteran move there, went a little bit higher than usual just to make sure the 48 had enough space. And I didn't see exactly how this happened, but somehow the 12 of Harold Burden has actually lost the draft with this lead group now. Blair Roussel is on pit road, the number 25 Ally Chevy. There's 2 Ally cars out on the racetrack here today, and I don't know if this is scheduled or not. We're going to throw it down to in-race reporter Alex Tesdall to get more information on that. Do we all need to make a pit stop here in stage 2?
Yes, we do need to make a stop, but it is a little early because we can still go about 10 laps.
Right, and see, the only way this would be smart, in my opinion, is if you lose the draft and you're trying to gamble, making a pit stop and coming back out onto the track with some drafting help. Getting lined up in the right spot on the track with the right people. So unless Blair lost the draft with the group he was in, this was not maybe a smart move, because Yeah, they're going to be running at a higher rate of speed, better lap times than he is just running on his own or drafting with two cars here as Emily Sari and Timmy Brown come up to join him. It's going to be a three-car team here working together. There's Trey Hollywood. He's got 5 career NASCAR wins on a super speedway. One of the super speedway specialists for sure here in NASCAR competition. New contract for him, like many other drivers. Oh, and we got a problem. The 8 car goes around. He made contact with a car that was up on the outside. 2 cars are crashed over in turn 3
and that will draw yellow.
I was wondering if it would or not. It was a pretty vicious crash over there, but there wasn't too many cars involved, so really I could see Heat 5 officiating go either way on that one. And now, this will help Blair Roussel in the 25 as long as he didn't go 1 lap down in the exchange of his green flag pit stop. If he did, then he's going to need a free pass here on this caution. But if he stayed on the lead lap, then he doesn't need to pit right now, and everybody else is going to, so he might be able to gain some track position that way. It's going to be interesting to see what the strategy looks like here. I think a lot of people are kind of going to come to pit road. Green flag back in the air, stage 2, back underway. How many laps to go, Alex?
13.
Stand for. Pardon me. Pretty calm looking restart, nobody making any wild moves. Right when I say that, somebody made a move to try to get to the inside of the 7 car. He threw a wild block, no crash, no caution. Oh, the 24 went up and into the outside wall there. We got a crash deeper in the field. The 19 and the 96 were both involved. Heavy contact into the inside wall. And that will put us under the caution for the 2nd time here in tonight's event. I don't know exactly what triggered it, but I do know that 2 cars went flying head-on into the inside wall. That includes the 96 and the 7. 3 cars involved in total, and we have our 2nd caution of the race. It's just getting interesting up here for the lead as well. Alex Tesdall and Destin Franklin and Trey Hollywood were making a move on the outside, and it actually looked like it was going to work, and then the yellow came out and put a halt on things. We'll re-rack them and try again here, working stage 2 of the 8th running of the NASCAR Daytona Beach 500 here for the NASCAR Platinum Cup Series. 8 years of history after this season. Started back on NASCAR 15 with this series here. It's pretty much our crown jewel stock car console series for sim racing here in NASCAR. Green flag back in the air. We don't have too many laps to go in stage 2. Pretty clean restart. They're all still coming up to speed. It takes nearly a full lap for these cars to get up to full speed. Oh, and it looked like the 77 of Landon Jenkins might have found the outside wall there. I was just talking a little bit earlier about how beautiful that custom number 77 paint job is. It's got the NASCAR colors and everything, and he was getting run over there on the front stretch. I think he was trying to get out of the way, but I think he tagged the wall once or twice, which really slowed his car down, and a couple of others weren't ready for that and kind of ran into the back of him. 2 cars have lost the draft now with this lead group, Kenny Adair and Landon Jenkins. Everyone else in the draft with a shot to go on up there and win stage 2. All 23 cars that are left on the racetrack are still on the lead lap and in contention. Donnie McBride Jr., your leader. The defending Daytona Beach 500 winner, Beam SKP, the driver out of France, is running in second in the number 14 Ford Mustang. Oh, there was a lag spike, and we've got a crash, a big crash. Somebody spiked right in front of everybody. I think it was Tanner Swaley in the 48 car. And under caution for the third time in this race here. And Alex, let me ask you this. Does that end the stage?
No, it's going to be like 2 or 3 to go when we restart.
This is going to be interesting. This is going to be wild. We've seen on these restarts, Alex, that everybody is a big fan of just kind of getting single file and taking it easy because it's early. For this restart, it's not going to be that way at all. Everybody's going to go for these stage points. I can just about guarantee it.
Might be a crazy finish to the stage end.
Yeah, I really think it will be. It usually is without a green-white checker. We don't need a green-white checkered for a stage finish for it to be wild, especially at a track like Daytona or Talladega, or even now Atlanta with the new package and rules package they have there for that speedway. But we're going to have one. Green-white checkered finish here for the stage 2 points. Green flag is back in the air. Top 10 get those stage points. The stage winners get a valuable playoff point. Those carry through to the postseason, and they carry through to each round in the playoffs. Each round you advance, those points continue with you.
We actually restarted with 4 to go, so extra lap than I thought.
Nothing wrong with that. I might give everybody a little bit more time to try to get to the front if they're about mid-pack on back. The most recent caution was a big break for drivers like Landon Jenkins and Kenny Adair, who lost the draft not too long ago. Now they're back up there and in contention. In fact, both of them are within the top 10 now and within striking distance of trying to go on up there and win this stage. 3 laps to go in stage 2. Donnie McBride Jr. leading. Trey Hollywood running in second. Aaron Garcia runs in third. Beam SKP, the driver out of France, running in fourth. The 96 of Machiavelli Ross is right there in fifth. He picked up 6 wins this season in the NASCAR Novice Cup Series in those Xfinity cars. 2 laps to go when they hit the line this time by. The only car trying to make a move to the top was Jeffrey Robinson Jr. in the 18. He found a spot back on the bottom just in front of the 36 of Kenny Adair. Man, somebody's going to make a move. I just don't know exactly who or when they're going to do it. Blair Roussel in the 25 runs in 6th. Looked like he was going to make a move and chose not to. Alex Tesdall goes to the top. And nobody went with him. Now the 36 of Kenny Adair is going to go with him. Kenny, of course, a former Tailgate 250 winner at Daytona for the Truck Series, so he knows all about winning a crown jewel at Daytona. White flag in the air the next time by. They will see the green and white checkered flag to signal the end of stage 2 rather, for the 8th running of the Daytona Beach 500. Now Donnie McBride Jr. going way up to the outside to try to break the draft and break the momentum from the cars behind him. You can tell that Aaron Garcia in the 24 lifted and laid back a little bit. He's trying to get a big run on these guys, and he's got one now. He's going to go to the outside. Donnie went to the top to try to block. He did a great job doing that. He almost opened the door for Trey Hollywood in the 20 to take the lead, though. Got back down to the bottom just in time. And Blair Roussel bounces off the wall. He's not going to get stage points. And Donnie McBride Jr. sweeps the stages here for the 8th running of the Daytona Beach 500. Man, if this is the finish for stage 2, I can't wait to see the wild finish we're going to have here for the end of the race. There's a lot on the line, a lot of history to be made if you win this one. Now, don't forget to pit Alex, but please get a photo of the top 10 of the stage if you can, buddy. And what do you think of the race so far? What do you think of your track position? How do you think that you're doing out there so far, your performance and how everyone else is driving?
Car feels okay. Track position isn't ideal, but intensity is definitely starting to wrap up. And, well, car's still in one piece, and I'm still in the front half, so there's hope.
Some drivers tell me that every year the crown jewel races at Daytona feel way different than any other plate track that we go to, you know, mid-season or something like that. Does this one feel wild and different than usual?
Yes, there's definitely a lot more pressure to try to get up there and do well on this one, even win it, simply because of how much perceived is behind it.
Good stuff. Good luck to you, my friend. Like the world's going to explode if you win this thing. Green flag is back in the air. Final stage is underway here for the 2023 NASCAR Daytona Beach 500. Oh, contact deep in the field. The 7 of Rush Downing came down and made contact with a couple of other cars. I believe Aiden Cody in the 53 was one of them. Jesse Carlson in the 6 might have been another. Some of these drivers now losing the draft because of it as they drive down the back straightaway. I was trying to figure out who some of these drivers are. The 19 car was one of them. The 19, of course, is Chris Vaudrin. Ran full-time with us in the NOSSCAR Novice Cup Series. Has made some starts with us in the NOSSCAR GT Cup Series on Gran Turismo 7 as well. Oh, contact there. Team 13 and one other car there. Timmy Brown keeping it out of the wall and keeping it up here in the draft with these leaders. Again, folks, only one car off the track. 24 cars started the race. It's an 80-lap race. It is a crown jewel event. Whoa! And there might have been a lag spike again. I'm really not too sure. But Tanner Swaley in the 48 and the 9 of Josh Colm-Diaz, they both almost wrecked there going into turn 3. Great save by both drivers. And a good job by Alex Tesdall on the 17 to not run the 48 over. He lifted in time. Was able to keep the 48 in line with them, and as long as they begin to work together right here and now, they might be able to work together and stay with the leaders. But the good news for this second group is that there's more of them than there are up in the lead group, so if there is some separation, in theory they should be able to run them back down if they're not battling side by side. Whoa. Every now and then there's a couple of drivers wiggling here, and now there's a big crash. Alex Tesdall, I think, got loose and went up into the outside and hit the 13 of Timmy Brown, and we're going to have a caution here.
I hit that weird glitch entering turn 3 that throws your car up.
And honestly, I will defend you on this because I know that those glitches and bumps exist. Yeah. I hit one once and I completely destroyed 2 cars and I felt terrible about it. And I was one of the negative ones, the non-believers about it too. Yeah. And then I hit it and I thought, okay, nope, wow, it's real. We are under caution for the 4th time in this race. Thank you for the update from Alex Tesdall, and we can tell you that Jordan Roughton in the 8 car is back on the lead lap now. He was 2 laps down at one point in this race, and now here he is in the final stage with a shot to win. Put the 8 Chevy Camaro back on the lead lap, ready to go. Any word that Beam SKP, the driver to France, is having a bit of a lag issue once in a while, and that could be one of the reasons why we're experiencing some of these crashes. Hopefully his connection improves as the race goes along. The green flag is back in the air. You're watching the 8th running of the NASCAR Platinum Cup Series Daytona Beach 500. Only one former winner in the field, and that is Beam SKP in the 14 Ford Mustang. He restarted 2nd for this restart, hoping that his connection stays strong until the end. Throwing it down to Alex Tesdall. How many laps to go, brother?
It'll be 26 to go when we hit the line.
Awesome, good stuff. It's been a great race, great action from the front to the back. Everyone's been pretty solid here. I know we've had a couple of crashes, but everyone doing a great job in this race. And you can tell, like Alex noted and touched on here, the level of intensity, the level of urgency is ramping up here as the laps run out. Getting closer and closer to the 20 to go mark, and that's usually when drivers start to try to make their moves.
If it stays green, about 4 laps of gas will need to be saved.
Wow, and somebody is going to try that. You know somebody's going to go for that. And some of the drivers in the field that come to mind when it comes to a task like that are probably going to go for it. Jesse Carlson in the 6, maybe Harold Burden in the 12, Sean Lucas in the 22. They are the fuel savers, and they're gonna go for it, in my opinion. We'll have to see how this all unfolds. That's if we go caution-free to the end. Thank you for the information, Alex. And you know what? It kind of looked like Donnie McBride Jr. in the 88 car was actually going to let some of the field go, because I thought maybe he heard you. I thought maybe he thought, yeah, I'm going to save some fuel. I don't want to lead and be full throttle right now. But then he tucked back in line just in front of the 12, and he's going to stay the race leader. But you're right, Alex. If there's a driver for sure that we can confirm is not going to have a chance to save this fuel, it's going to be whoever the leader is. And right now, that's Donnie McBride Jr. in the 88 car. He swept the stages here today, looking to sweep the event as well. And I'll be honest, the 88 Chevy looking to sweep the entire weekend. I don't mean to brag, but it was yours truly who won the 2023 NASCAR Legends race at Daytona last Monday. It's pretty much the equivalent to the old school Bud Shootout, non-points race special event for the race winners and stage winners and pole winners from the previous Platinum Cup Series season, along with a couple of fan votes and things like that. The 88 car is strong. So it's Donnie McBride Jr., Harold Burden, Aaron Garcia, 1, 2, 3. Landon Jenkins in 4th right there. Kenny Adair in the 36, running in 5th. The 96, Machiavelli Ross running in the 6th position. Jeffrey Robinson Jr. in the 18 runs in 7th. Alex Tesdall giving him a good push, running in 8th. Aiden Cody, the pole sitter, has found his way back into the top 10. He's scored in 9th. And it's Sean Lucas in the 22 Ford Mustang, scored in the 10th position. Jesse Carlson and Blair Roussel and a few others just right there with them outside the top 10. Nobody's stepping out of line right now. A couple of cars have actually lost the draft with the lead group. They're starting to split up a little bit. The car that's kind of stuck in between the two groups is Josh Colm-Diaz in that number 9 Chevy Camaro. He's eventually going to fall back to the group we're watching right now. Wow, teammates were bouncing off each other there just a moment ago. There's 3 teammates all under an umbrella right here. Emily Sari, the Canadian driver in the 62, getting a push from Timmy Brown in the 13. Rush Downing just got a bump from the 13 of Timmy Brown. Rush went up and into the outside wall. There's going to be pretty significant damage to that machine, and now he's also going to lose the draft with this group. And I'll tell you, that didn't do any favors for Timmy Brown or for Emily Sari to do that. It's just simply one less car for them to have in their group to work with, and less chance of them running down that lead pack. And I'm amazed, folks, Josh Colm-Diaz in the 9 stayed there with the lead pack. He's still in their draft. There was some contact near the back of that lead group. Tanner Swaley was involved. Somebody swerved and got into the side of the 48, and now he's going to lose the draft with the lead group. He's going to go back to that second group I was just talking about and just had on camera with Emily Sari and Timmy Brown. kind of how you need to do things here for the super speedway races. If you lose the draft with the lead group, you kind of just need to ride around and hope that more cars also lose the draft with the leaders, so that way you've got somebody to work with to try to either run the leaders back down or just simply have slightly better lap times and avoid going one lap down before you get saved by a caution. Kenny Adair making a move to the outside. Not really a whole lot to lose for him here. He's looking for that first career NOSSCAR Platinum Cup Series win. Actually, I should check that, folks. That's my fault. He has one career NOSSCAR Platinum Cup Series win, and it was on a super speedway. I always forget about that statistic. But no, folks, he has a win here in Platinum Cup competition. He knows what it takes to win here on these super speedways in particular. It's where he shines the brightest. A couple more cars have lost the draft with the leaders. That includes Jordan Roughton in the number 8 Chevy Camaro. He was the most recent victim of that. Josh Colm-Diaz in the 9, Beam SKP in the 14. 24 drivers from 3 different countries represented here in tonight's event, all with the hopes to win. This is not one of those events that you enter hoping for a solid top 5 or a solid top 10. I mean, some of the rookie drivers definitely enter with that kind of mentality, but honestly, folks, all of these drivers would really love to just park it in victory lane for this crown jewel event. They've watched the races on YouTube over the years. They've looked at the results over the years. They want their name to be beside that number 1. Donnie still leading in the 88 car, swept the stages, led the most laps at 12, not letting them go anywhere. Harold Burton, kind of low-key, one of the better super speedway drivers here in NOSSCAR. Aaron Garcia in the 24 has won 2 championships here in NOSSCAR here in 2023 alone. 4-time champion in total. He's looking to become the first driver to win a championship for the Platinum Cup Series, Motormaster Series, and trucks. No other driver has ever done that.
Saving enough might be possible, but it will be extremely close and you have to commit to it the rest of the race.
Interesting. And I'm beginning to wonder who's doing that. You know what I mean? I'm beginning to wonder who's got the smarts that you do. Noticed it when you did, and I'm beginning to wonder who's trying to make this work. Kind of looks like Landon Jenkins in the 77 could be one of those drivers, or he's laying back to make a run on the top 4. This is going to be interesting.
If you just now notice it, it's too late.
Is it? Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is going to be intense. How many laps remaining?
14.
10-4. 14, 10-4. I wasn't trying to be smart. 14 laps to go, says our in-race reporter Alex Tesdall, former NOSSCAR Novice Cup Series champion, podiums in the GT Cup Series on Gran Turismo as well. One of our well-rounded NOSSCAR drivers. Participated in nearly every series that we offer. The Outlaw Series on Wreckfest. There's all kinds that we have here in NOSSCAR for you. If you're a sim racer and you want to get in on the action, if you have a PlayStation console or a PC, contact us, folks. Go to the About Us page on NOSSCAR.com to see details on how to sign up and become a NOSSCAR driver. Registration is free. And if you're one of these drivers that's no longer up there in the lead draft, honestly, all you can really do is hope for a caution. Just hope that you're not in the caution. Like here we see Rush Downing in the 7, and Chris Vaudrin in the 19, giving a push to Tanner Swaley in the 48. All three of these drivers were up there and in contention for this win for most of this race, and it's going to be a heartbreaking way for this one to end if this is how it looks when the checkered flag waves. Not too far in front of them is another group of cars. I was trying to find them. It's just a pair, I believe, and it's Emily Seri, the Canadian driver, in that 62 car, and Timmy Brown in the 13. They are working together. Hoping for a caution as well, I'm sure. Second group of cars kind of looks like this. Trey Hollywood leading them with Kenny Adair, Dean SKP, Josh Colm Diaz. You got Jesse Carlson in the 6 and Jordan Roughton in the 8. Gotta wonder if some of these drivers are trying to save the fuel. Jesse Carlson in particular comes to mind. He's the last car in this line, and that's the best place to be if you're trying to save fuel. Now it looks like Trey Hollywood is actually going to surrender the lead spot in line here, and it might be for the reasons I just mentioned. He might be trying to save some fuel and not be the front car. If you're the front car in line, you're full throttle. Your foot is to the floor. Oh, and they're coming to pit road. Trey Hollywood, Josh Colm Diaz, and one other car coming to pit road. It was Jordan Roughton in the 8 that's joining them. So if somebody can make it, like Alex mentioned, somebody's going to try, then these three are pretty much eliminated at this point and have no chance of winning. The
entire lead group is pitting.
Oh boy.
They all just signaled.
Wow. And this is early. Like they're not even running these tanks dry. They're pitting early. Oh, here they come. That was a wild entry to pit road there. The 12 of Harold Burden. Landon Jenkins is in pit road. Brian McBride Jr., Aaron Garcia, Jeffrey Robinson Jr., Aiden Cody, Machiavelli Ross in the 96 as well. There was only a handful of cars from that lead group that stayed out for an extra lap. Chris Vaudrin is now on pit road. Rush Downing is now on pit road. Timmy Brown in the 13 is now on pit road. Your race leader now is Alex Tesdall in the 17 car, or it was. He led the last lap by. This time...
I gave it up. I still need to save.
Yeah, I don't blame you. That's what I would do. The 22 car is now your race leader. Blair Roussel is running in second in that Ally machine. It's great to see Sean Lucas leading laps and out front. He was one of the few drivers that I indicated that might go for this. He might try it. He's one of our fuel savers, and what I mean by that is he's one of our fuel saving drivers that just simply saves naturally while running a very consistent and fast pace. He's great at it. So is Harold Burden, so is Jesse Carlson. They were the three that I named that might be going for it. The only bad thing for Sean right now is he's the lead car in his line, and he's definitely using more fuel than the two that are just behind him. But now he's coming up on the back of the 9 and the 20. This is going to be a huge save for him. The smartest thing for Sean to do would just simply be to tuck in line and be the third car in this group and continue to be the race leader. And that's exactly what he's going to do. Very smart. Under 10 to go. We'll get an update about that from Alex here when he hits the line. I want him to just continue to watch that fuel gauge.
I think we're coming to 5 to go. 7. Never mind. My math's way off.
All good. Hopefully the fuel's not. Hopefully it's not way off.
Fuel's way close. I don't know. I'm gonna try though.
All right. This is going to be intense. I can't wait to see what happens. Somebody's going to run out. Somebody's going to make it. And most of the others are going to surrender and just pit and play it safe. Sean Lucas in the 22 leads. He's the third car in line on your frame, folks. The 25 of Blair Roussel, the Canadian driver, running in second. Alex Tesdall scored in third. 24 drivers from 3 different countries represented in today's race. The 8th running of the Daytona Beach 500 is coming to a close. 6 laps to go. Just to kind of recap a couple of things for the viewers at home. We had a caution with about 23 or 24 laps to go, somewhere in and around there. And it really created a situation here where everyone was short about 4 laps on fuel to the checkered flag if it went green the rest of the way. Some of these drivers are yet to make their pit stops, and most of the field has just simply given up on trying to save that fuel and already been to pit road. And that is why the running order looks different. That's why the lead pack looks very different. And that's why Sean Lucas is your race leader in the 22. Blair Roussel going with them. 5 laps to go at Daytona. Beam SKP in the 14. He was kind of slow there just a moment ago. He goes a lap down to the leaders. He's the defending winner of this race. Won it last year, the driver out of France in that 14 Ford Mustang. Don't know what happened to him, but he wasn't up to a very quick speed there just a moment ago. Now the 12 of Harold Burden goes up to the outside. He's going to let a couple of these drivers go and settle back into line. It was not a battle for a position. He's already been on pit road, just didn't have a drafting partner when he came out of the pits. That's why his speed is a little lower than everybody else's. 4 laps to go, if I'm not mistaken.
3.
Oh, wow.
Oh, no, yeah, 4.
4? Okay. I was going to say, I missed one.
Yeah.
Which happens. It happens. I get talking and I just don't see it somehow.
Use my fuel gauge for the lap counter for a moment.
Yeah, keep it on the fuel. That's my recommendation. It's what I always do. When I know it's going to be close, and that's all I keep it on. This is going to be wild. 3 laps to go. Sean Lucas in the 22 car is your race leader. Oh no! And Kenny Adair in the 36 just came up onto the racetrack and hit the 17 car. It's going to be a penalty for sure to the 36 because he merged onto the track unsafely and made contact with another car. But either way, that hinders the chances of Alex Tesdall to winning the Daytona Beach 500. Hopefully he can make it to the end on fuel, but he's got no draft help to try to save that fuel. The best chance for him now is to find another car to tuck in behind and try to save some laps. Man, I can't even begin to tell you how sorry I am to see that just happened. I can't believe that happened. 2 laps to go. Oh, Kenny. And the 53 of Aiden Cody is going to go up to the outside and let these other cars go down low. A veteran move from a relatively new driver in his sophomore season with us here in NASCAR. Folks, I can't believe I'm about to say this. It's went by fairly quickly, actually, but the white flag is now in the air. 1 lap to go, presented by NASCAR. 8th running of the Daytona Beach 500 is nearly done here. Couple more corners to go. Whoa, and I believe Sean Lucas might be out of fuel. He's a little slow looking down on the inside through turns 1 and 2, and now down the back straightaways, trying to stay in the draft with some of these lap cars. But yes, folks, he's out. He's now out. There's no power to the 22. The new leader is Blair Roussel in the 25. The Canadian driver. He's looking to become the 2nd Canadian in NASCAR history to win the Daytona Beach 500. Coming out of turn 4, I believe he's out of fuel as well. The question is anybody going to get to him in time? They're not going to. Blair Roussel wins the NASCAR Daytona Beach 500 here on NASCAR Heat 5. Wow. And in-race reporter Alex Tesdall pointed it out to us. Everybody was about 4 laps short on fuel. The caution came out, the last caution of the race came out with about 24 laps to go, I believe it was, which set it up so you needed to save every single corner, every single lap if you were going to go for this strategy. Everybody either ran out or made a pit stop and did not go for it. But man, Blair Roussel, he did. He put all of his chips into the front of the table and he went for it. He wins the 2023 NASCAR Platinum Cup Series Daytona Beach 500. Here at NASCAR Heat 5, 24 drivers came to play. Don't forget photos of the results, Alex. And again, I can't even imagine how you're feeling right now. I apologize for what happened. Did you run out?
I was a half short. I would have made it.
Okay. You would have been in the same boat as Sean then, because the 25 didn't run out until he was going halfway through 3 and 4. So I think that you would have finished in about second if that helps. First or second, anyways. What a race and what a win for Blair Roussel. It's his first career NASCAR Platinum Cup Series win, and it comes in the form of a crown jewel win, folks. It comes in the form of a Daytona Beach 500 win. It's the one that everybody wants to win. And not only does he get the crown jewel win, but he's most likely going to be the points leader as well, depending on where Donnie McBride Jr. in that 88 car finished. Remember, Donnie swept both stages in tonight's event. And we're going to see if we can get a word with him. See if we can get Blair Roussel in here for a quick interview. You're going to, I can't remember what color it is. You're going to see a blue or a black screen here for just a couple of seconds here. I'm just going to try to send an invite and get him in here. And we are now being joined in victory lane by your Daytona Beach 500 winner, Blair Roussel, the second Canadian driver in NASCAR history to win this particular crown jewel event. Blair, make sure that your voice settings are set to be shared. Let's make sure that the viewers at home are definitely going to hear your voice. And from all of us here at NASCAR, we want to say congratulations, buddy. A caution came out with about 24 laps to go, which set it up so everybody was about 4 laps short on fuel if the race went green the rest of the way. Did you realize this right away and try to save right from the beginning of the run, or did you notice a little bit later and then kind of form a late race game plan?
I definitely knew it was coming right off the bat, so I prepared and barely worked, but I'm grateful it worked, and I'm happy we're able to have this race be our first win of our NASCAR career.
No doubt. Honestly, this is a huge one. This is a crown jewel event, the 8th running of this event. A lot of big names have won this race in the past. Beam SKP was the only former winner in the field. He had a great run. Donnie McBride Jr. in the 88 swept the stages. What were some of the things that you were doing to make sure that you were going to be in contention at the end for this one and try to overcome the level of talent that everybody has in this series? Such a stacked field.
I think this one honestly came out to be luck of the draw, because about halfway through the race I was dead set that we were not having a good night. Things were going pretty rough, but they started to turn around pretty quickly, and I was able to take advantage of that and come away with a good night. So I think that's what it came down to, with luck.
If you could name one point in the race that kind of acted as a turning point of the race and kind of changed things from going from bad to good for you, or from bad to great for you, what would it be?
I think the setting point would be when the final pit stops. Everyone went in, and I think right then I knew it was pretty based on how the other drivers were going, I knew they weren't going to have enough. So they were going to have to do something drastic, and I was already prepared. So we set ourselves up, and once final pit stops came by, we were pretty happy from there on out.
And now tell us about the moment the 22 car slowed on the back straightaway and you passed him for the lead. What was going through your mind? Did you know you had it at that point?
I did, but I didn't. I was pretty excited once I saw him go. All I knew was I had to not hit him so I could at least roll to the checkered finish, like I did. I didn't even have enough to do a little burnout. So the only thing I was worried about is where the other cars were on track, because I wasn't sure what their strategy was. They might have taken a 3-second pit stop. So with how much we were all saving, it's possible they could have caught up, but the time shows otherwise. So,
is there anyone you want to give a shout out to or give a thank you to before we sign out for the evening?
Oh, of course. Thank you, Tyler, for organizing all this, and Shadow for helping with the broadcast, and everyone else in NASCAR. This was fun, and hopefully we can have a good night next week and return a favor.
I am super happy, super proud for you, man. You're one of the super good guys in this series, one of the super nice guys. Great to see you get this win. You're now locked into the playoffs. You now have the biggest crown jewel NASCAR race on a console that you can possibly achieve. You really hit a milestone here tonight, Blair. Congratulations, my friend. Go celebrate with your team. Very happy for you.
Thank you, Tyler, and thank you, Shadow. Hope you guys have a good night.
Oh, yeah, we know you're going to have a good night. Blair Roussel, everybody, your 2023 NASCAR Daytona Beach 500 winner here on NASCAR Heat 5, did a terrific job, used that strategy to the best of his ability. There was a few cars who went for it, 3 of them in particular, that had a great chance of making it happen and making it work. And, I don't know, Sean Lucas and Alex Tesdahl just came up a little bit short, and at the end of it all, Blair Roussel in the 25 was able to have the good luck, the good fortune, and the good strategy, and the good speed to hold on and capture the victory here, parking it in victory lane for the first time in his NASCAR Platinum Cup Series career. Has run with us full-time and part-time on iRacing for a little while now. He's also been full-time on Heat 5 as well. He's kind of tried out his skills and his racing abilities on multiple different platforms with us here at NASCAR, and he's been successful in every single one. Final thoughts from Alex Tesdahl, our in-race reporter, before we sign out for the evening. Alex, I know you had a bit of a heartbreaking situation here tonight. Tell us a little bit about it, and tell us what you're going to do next week to try to bounce back from this.
I mean, I don't know. I'm pissed after that one. I am certain I had that damn thing won if I would have been able to save right up to the end. But it is what it is. P13, I guess, is still front half of the field, so on the next week to try to recover.
And that's the thing, too, Alex. You can look like a hero or a zero here at a track like Daytona or Talladega. It can go either really good or really bad. You can lead 199 laps out of 200 and then still finish in 30th. It's one of those wild card type of tracks. You had an excellent run tonight. You were in the discussion for the win, had great camera time. And overall, in my opinion, it was a great start to the season for you. We wish you the best of luck next week at Mid-Ohio.
Yeah, thank you.
Folks, that's going to do it. Your 2023 Daytona Beach 500 winner, Blair Roussel, celebrating in pit road with victory lane with his team. Congratulations to him. Congratulations to the team. Thank you to everybody who tuned in and joined us here tonight on the NASCAR YouTube channel. We hope we see you next Monday for Mid-Ohio and a couple of other races we have. And until then, folks, stay fast.